Good afternoon, YouTube. Good afternoon, YouTube. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa 914, which is the county, New York. I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. I'm enjoying my weekend. I'm enjoying my weekend. I had to change the title of this video because, we got some very sensitive people on these YouTube streets, on these YouTubes. But like I said this morning, and I'll say it again. And thank you, Vince, for commenting under this video. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. I know you support this channel. Thank you for your view and thank you for supporting this channel. And you had a very good 2 days of videos, Vince. That's one thing I'll say about you. So shout out to Vince the Sniper. Shout out to Vince the Sniper for doing his 2 videos, the one I caught yesterday and the one I caught early this morning. And Garrett Chavis, aka Mr. 86K, is a pathetic groupie. But what do you expect from someone that follows KB around? We saw Garrett in the video where he was at the club. He was at the club, some hot spot down there in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia. He went to the club last night. He was wearing a white outfit that included a hoodie. No, he was hot as fuck. Trying so bad to fit in with KB's people. He's trying to fit in with Kwame Brown and them. He probably was there to actually try to meet up with Kwame Brown. See, it's terrible when you're a groupie. And Garrett is put me in the mind of someone that doesn't have their own mind. He's a mindless zombie. He runs around on these YouTube streets, getting in all this beefing and arguing with different women on these YouTube streets. And it's awful. It is pitiful. It is sad. It is unfortunate. But what do you expect from someone like Garrett? Hey, free thinkers, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. I thank everyone that comes in and visits with me for a short period of time. I'm not going to be up here that long. And I want something else to be known. We got an election year coming up. We got some clowns running for president of the United States. Joe Biden, he dropped out of the race, so they are pushing the vice president, Kamala Harris, and they're also pushing for Trump. I'm gonna tell you like this. I've been out of prison since 2001. I have been out of the penitentiary system since 2001 and has none of these presidents that have sat in that goddamn White House has even thought about pardoning not only myself, but other ordinary people that have been out of prison for quite some time. They pardon celebrities. And I find it very interesting that these same people, they don't look out for us, the regular taxpayers, the regular people that work every day, the regular people that pay their bills, the regular people that try to contribute to society. They don't think about us. They think about how to punish us, how to raise taxes, how to make the price of food so high that when you go into a supermarket, you're used to come out with 2 or 3 buggies. Now you're coming out with 12 items. 12 items. And maybe all of that is not food. Because people got to buy things for their house or their toiletries or how to take care of themselves. You know, because we got a lot of people out here in the world that buys other products besides food. You know what I mean? And they're making everything so impossible to do, so impossible to pay for. That's why I don't understand why everyone is like, we gotta vote for Trump. Fuck Trump. Trump don't care about nobody. If you ain't got a whole lot of money in your bank account, Trump don't give a fuck about you, your family, none of your friends. If you're not a celebrity, let me put it like that, Trump don't give a fuck about you. And that whatever her name is, Kamala Harris, the vice president over there, she don't give a fuck about the ordinary working people. Shout out to everyone that's coming to the chat. And thank you for visiting with me. Like and share the video, please. If you want to show your support, like and share the video. I'm not too concerned about numbers right now. I don't care how many people come into the chat, but I'm going to say what I got to say about this election that's coming up. And I know a lot of people, a lot of black people, and a lot the people from the Latino community votes in for the Democrats almost every year. We come from families where it's generations and generations of people that voted for the Democratic Party. That has to stop. That Democratic Party don't give a fuck about none of us. They just want your vote. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about the generations of people that have supported them and their policies. Their policies are racist and outdated. I don't care who is in the White House. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. You want our votes, but you're not willing to do what needs to be done. Why you think we got all this unrest that's going on behind this election? Because I'm going to tell you something. Those people that are across the sea are very angry with America and American policies. And I don't know if anybody realizes it or not. When you vote in these people, you're voting for their policies. Their changing of the law. You have to think in the back of your mind, is it going to help your situation or not? And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to help anything. Vice President Harris, she don't care nothing about the black community. She doesn't. Just look at her track record. Look at what they've really done for the black community. Even though they passed the Emmett Till lynching law bill back in 2022, we need more than that. Let's talk about reparations. Let's talk about giving the black man and the black woman their gifts, their flowers, the things that they deserve, the things that we have worked hard for generation after generation. And if it doesn't improve this year, it's not going to improve in the next 10 years. And I'm going to tell you something. The government, they are waiting for certain generations of people to die. Because in 3 more generations, ain't nobody going to remember Arabia Barbosa. Nobody's going to remember me. And I'm not talking about family members. And the next three generations, is anybody going to remember me? Is anybody going to remember any of us? Whether you're a celebrity or not, are they going to remember you? I don't know about the rest of you, but me personally, I would like to be remembered. But I know it's not going to happen. So I don't care about what nobody say about me. Arabia Barbosa 914, which is the county of New York. 3 generations from now, is anyone going to remember me? Is anyone going to remember Sis Rabbit Got a Wrench in 3 generations? Is anyone going to remember Sister T or Lonnie or any of us after 3 generations? Let's be honest. Is anyone going to remember KB after 3 generations? And I'm not talking about his family members. I'm talking about ordinary Joes. So this government, if we don't press for our rights and the things that we want as a people right now, if we don't demand it right now, and sometimes going out in the street and voting for this and voting for that, the vote is not the same thing as a bullet. It's not. In the animal kingdom, you don't get respect unless you fight for your respect. You fight for your name. You fight for your title. It is not given to you. You have to fight for these things. That's why I call the people that support Kwame Brown mindless zombies. They don't have a voice of their own. They don't have a mindset of their own. Look at Garrett in the club last night, making a complete ass of himself. And he has the nerve to talk about Soulfly. He got the nerve to talk about Keep the Change. He got the nerve to talk about Moonlight. He got the nerve to talk about anybody on this app. And I don't mean no harm. People need to think about, is Garrett even worth it? Is he even fucking worth and this bullshit job that y'all giving him? Because after today, I'm not going to talk about that loser again. I'm not going to waste any more time. Only thing is, I know I don't like him. I know I don't like his delivery. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the truck he drives. I don't like nothing about what he fucking does on his app. He's another mindless zombie, a real bitch ass nigga, a drop shot beta male, off brand, drag nasty, bitch ass nigga. And that's what I'm saying about him. Now, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Those of you that are not here, you catch the playback. Like and share the video, please. Support this channel. And listen to what I'm saying. Not only am I talking about Garrett, but I'm talking about things that's happening in real life, in real time, in this world, besides this YouTube app. Because when we come to the YouTube streets, when we come to these YouTubes, we are coming to the matrix. We are coming into the in-between. It is like being in a spiritual world. We all know what each other look like, what we sound like, but we are ghosts in the night. We don't know each other, not personally. Not personally. So anything that happens on this app, I try not to take it personal. It's what's going on in the real world with this election, with these politicians. You got to remember, all these politicians are corrupt. All these people running the government are full of corruption. They don't care about the everyday working Joe and Jane. We got G.I. Joes, we got G.I. Janes around here. They don't care. They just want your tax dollars to pay for their policies. Their useless policies. What's going on in the Middle East is shameful. But the average Joe, me and you, the regular citizens of the United States, we've been here for generations and generations. The United States has been supporting the state of Israel, which is located in the Middle East, over there where those people don't belong. Even if they want to live over there, that's fine with them. But why should we have to foot the bill for them being over there? The United States and England put the state of Israel in the Middle East after World War II. World War II ended when? In 1945. This is 2024. You can't tell me the state of Israel can't take care of their own selves. Why do they need US dollars to take care of them? Why should we be concerned about Israel? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care nothing about those people in Israel. I don't care nothing about the Jews. Because I know how dirty they are, the snakes, the vipers they are. We all know, especially those that come from New York. We remember what happened in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, back during the 80s. All that distress that they caused. And then those same cowards that did the bullshit that they did, they ran to the state of Israel. Don't you know how many Jewish people was riding in the arms of the Ku Klux Klan years ago? A lot of you don't know, a lot of the Jewish population was joining up with the Ku Klux Klan. That was around the time the Ku Klux Klan said any white man could join them. Don't you know that the same ones that y'all worried about was the same ones that joined in the Ku Klux Klan? Don't you know those are the same people that gave the money for the slave ships to carry your ancestors into slavery? I bet you don't know that. A lot of you talking about, well, I'm not worried about the Democratic Party. I'm going to vote for the Republicans, and the Democrats are all part of the same game. Remember what happened during the Civil War. Remember when the Civil War ended, what happened? Did the lives of Black Americans improve, or did it just get worse? Because not too long after the Civil War was fought, they instituted the Jim Crow laws. A lot of you don't remember what Jim Crow is because a lot of you didn't grow up during Jim Crow, but ask your parents, ask your grandparents, ask your great-grandparents if you want to get technical. Jim Crow happened over 3 generations ago. But it will always be remembered. You know why? Because they got it on video, what happened during the Civil Rights Movement. So a lot of people in this country remember the dogs. They remember the fire hoses going on them, drowning people for marching for their civil rights. We wasn't considered citizens then, and we're not citizens now. Even though we was born here, we was raised here. It's generations of us here. They do not consider us Americans. Not if they have to keep writing laws that say this and that for you to have. You're supposed to have been born with these rights. The only rights we got is what the universe gave us. And I don't mean no harm. In 3 generations, ain't nobody gonna remember nobody on this app or what they said, unless they want to capture it and put it on different sets of video. Because there's certain ways that they are actually erasing certain things that happened in history. Don't you know they're going to sponge away what happened during slavery? That's one of the things they want to sponge away. They want to sponge away the Jim Crow era. They want to tell the lie, but they don't want any truth to come forth. And those that want to vote Democratic this year, you better remember Fannie Lou Hamer. You better remember Eartha Kitt. You better remember Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela, Betty Shabazz, Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. You better start remembering what they did to the Black Panther Party. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party is one big gang. They're just like the Bloods and Crips, because before certain gangs came into play, the Crips was the biggest one. But remember, you had some people that branched off and built up their own gangs, which became the Bloods. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, they're down with the same policies of destruction and oppression. And people like Kwame Brown is here to help keep the division going. He's here to play squid games with all of us on this app. It's only a few of us who have always disliked Kwame Brown, always stayed our distance from Kwame Brown. I can respect the rabbits a little bit, but I don't respect them because all of them want to be down with Kwame Brown. They are dissatisfied. They are unhappy with being separated from him. Stand on your own 2 feet. Because I know a lot of you don't like those of us that come from Soda Nation. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Before Kwame Brown came to the sector of YouTube, Soda Nation was here first. We was here first, and we're going to be here when the rest of you leave. A shout out to the chat. Hey, Crystal, thank you for coming in. So I want to thank everyone for coming in and for sharing your afternoon with me. I'm going to shout out to Vince, the sniper. Thank you for coming in. Always a pleasure. Free thinkers, thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure. Crystal, thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure. And I know I got a lot of ghost watchers. A lot of them. Some people actually thought I was going to spend the whole video talking about Garrick. I know that's a waste of time. I'm just letting you know how I feel about him. I'm letting you know my opinion about him and why I dislike him. Because I know he's a puppet for Kwame Brown. We got a lot of people on this app that do not think independently. They do not think for themselves. They think in a group like herd like mentality. Sometimes you got to be like a lone lion and live on your own. Be a nomad. At least when it's time for you to go down or for you to do whatever you need to do, you'll be there standing alone in your own strength, in your own glory, in your own time, in your own truth. I'd rather stand alone than die in a group. I'd rather stand alone rather to be slaughtered in a group. I'd rather loot a store by myself than to run into a store and loot a store with 50 other people, 100 other people. I'd rather do my shit alone. When I committed my crime in 1995, I did it alone. There was no co-defendants. So I didn't have anyone testifying against me in court. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Hello, Donna. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be up here that long. I just wanted to come in and speak a few words. Speak a few words. That's right. Thank you, Don, for coming. But yes, free thinkers, you're absolutely right. It is better to stand alone than to die in a group. It is better, if you're going to go and commit a crime or do anything wrong, do not have a co-defendant. Because if you have a co-defendant, then that person can actually testify against you, write statements against you, get you more time in prison. Stand alone. It might be frightening, it might be uncomfortable, but stand alone. I'd rather live in a home by myself, an apartment by myself, than to live in a boarding house. I'd rather be alone and single. Alone. And sometimes it's best to be alone. And that's why I respect a lot of the YouTube creators that's on these YouTube streets, especially some of the creators. I mean, I might see you on different people's chat, but it doesn't mean that, oh yeah, you're down with them, because we got the Quamites for that. The Quamites, they're in one group. The rabbits, they're in one group. So if anything happens to one, it happens to all of them. You see what I'm saying? I'm a one-woman army. When I used to have different disagreements with different people on this app, I stood by myself. Nobody else helped me. Argue with another stranger? And I don't believe in doxing. I don't believe in it. I think doxing is wrong. I think if you're having words or disagreement with someone, you should not dox them. I don't care if you get their information. Matter of fact, if you're arguing with somebody, why are you going to put up the picture of their family members or you know, put their address out there. That doesn't make any sense to me. You're arguing with someone else on these, but on these YouTube streets, people are being doxxed. But don't you know they're writing laws? They're coming up with laws right now, getting ready to put all of you doxers in jail. So all of you that are working together behind the scenes or not, and you're doxing people, don't you know when that law passes, all of you are going down? You didn't know that, did you? Y'all better pay attention. Y'all better pay attention. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep anyone up here that long, but when I get into my feelings and I be talking about what's going on in these YouTubes, sometimes I forget. But I gotta keep mind of what I'm doing. I gotta look at my screen and I know who's in my chat, and I thank everyone in my chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Everyone in my chat, everyone that has come in are independent thinkers. They don't roll in groups. And that's what I like about everyone that come into my chat. They are by themselves. I can honestly say. But those that are rolling in groups, when your group leader go down, remember, you're going with them. Okay? You want to ride with them through the wind, through the fire, through the snow, whatever you want to ride with them. You're gonna ride, all right. Ride straight to the pits of hell. Because that's what happens when you roll in groups. Ride by yourself. Ride alone. Because if anything happens, it's only one of you. Because I'm going to tell you something. More than two people. Two people could be riding with each other. But if one of them are eliminated, then you don't have to worry about nobody snitching on you. You don't have to worry about nobody writing a statement against you. Nobody testifying against you. Nobody stabbing you on your back. Okay, you don't have nothing to worry about if you ride by yourself. Now, if you sabotage your own self, well, you sabotage your own self, nothing I can say. But I'm out of here. I hope y'all have an awesome day today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I'm going to watch me some old videos, some old scary movies, because you know I like horror flicks. I like anything dealing with scary movies, Halloween themed movies. I like all that. Yeah, now. It is what it is. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa 914, which is the county, New York. We are signing off and signing out. And I will see each and every one of you later on, or perhaps in someone else's chat. No más tontería. Disfruta tu la vida. Disfruta tu la vida. Enjoy your life. And have an awesome weekend. No more foolishness, people. Stand alone. Stand alone. Do not stand in groups. Do not roll in groups. And don't take too much stuff too seriously on this YouTube app, on the social media. Just remember, we got people riding to get rid of every last one of us when certain politicians come to power. Think about who you're voting in this year, because I think it's in November. In certain parts of the country, they're going to be voting early. So they're going to be voting early in Pennsylvania. They're going to be voting early in Pennsylvania. But I believe the rest of us will be voting in November. But as long as they're not giving me a pardon or doing anything for the everyday working man and working woman and trying to make our lives any better, because only thing I see, everything is getting worse. It's not getting any better. And I knew the tides of the wind was going to change as soon as the prices of certain things started going up. When they started rising the prices of cigarettes, I already knew food and everything else was going to go up. I already knew back then when Obama was sitting in the fucking chair that they was going to rise up the price. Well, not rise up the price, but rise up the age for retirement. They're going to come up with that soon. And look at what they're doing to the school system. I shared it on my community wall. If anyone want to look at my community wall, I shared it from another page where they were saying that prisons and schools are exactly the same. If you really look at it, retrospect. Thank you, Vince. And thank you for having some very wonderful videos this weekend. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Y'all take care of yourselves. See you later. Peace.